Cool. That's right.
So if you guys don't know what that is,
that's
from SCTV, the McKenzie brothers. If you've never seen it, look it up on YouTube. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen.
Well, not only that, you have to watch the movie Strange Brew with them.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Amazing. Okay, so obviously we should start the show by introducing the show, but we're just going to do every time. Guys, it is MFSN's Waiver Wire Hockey Show. I am here with Party Marty and Ross the Boss.
Hey, everybody, I'm Ross the Boss, and I want to talk NHL Waiver Wire with you, cowboy. Hockey's in full steam. I'm loving hockey right now, Marty. I can't wait to talk about it. I can't wait to get your takes on what's going on in the hockey world. It's going to be fun. There'll be drinking. There'll be funny stuff. What's your take so far in the hockey season, Marty?
Right now, they're doing good. All teams are doing good right now, but my Ottawa Senators are sitting right now with the COVID protocol right now. That's a smart thing what they're doing in the NHL right now because they're making the players get better and make sure nothing goes wrong when they're playing games. And my Ducks are on fire, how you said. They're in like third overall this year right now. They're winning back-to-back games. They're winning action games. Ryan Getzlaf's doing good. My Ducks are doing good. One team of mine is doing great.
Now, you say one team of yours, Marty. How many teams do you have? You have
just
like
5
of them?
No, 2. Just Ottawa and the Ducks.
Just 2. All right, that's acceptable. That I can give you.
The Ducks are playing your team. Well, everybody had the Ducks in last place beginning of the year. I mean, even myself, I'm like, they're not going to win many games. And they have all these rookies, they have all these second-year guys, and they're playing unbelievable. Like Ducks are over 500, which is a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle, Marty. It's unbelievable.
They're doing great.
That is unbelievable stuff. I'm glad for you, Marty, that you've got one of your teams going well. You know, my teams, I pick underdogs. You can see Calgary Flames. I latched onto them a long time ago, and the Buffalo Sabres. Those are my teams because I like to suffer. They're doing good, though, too. They're both doing much better than expected, and Calgary especially. So,
hey, anybody's doing better than Montreal right now.
That's true. Wow.
Well, Montreal does not have their starting goalie. They're down to their third-string goalie right now. They're playing. The team went to the Stanley Cup Finals last year. Now they're like the laughing stock of the league. Marty, I don't know what happened. What's your take on Montreal?
They're not doing too well. They have all hurt players. They don't got no defense in front of them. They got no scoring power. And also Tampa Bay's like slacking too, I think. Tampa Bay is not doing great. I don't know if they're going to even make it a triple threat for the Stanley Cup, like win it 3 times in a row.
They're over 500. They're fine. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not. They're going to make the playoffs.
They are making the playoffs. We just see how far they can.
But you said something in today's show. If you say something smart, you know what happens. You get to drink. And you know what? You said something pretty smart. So let's have your first drink right now.
Now, listen, I'm going to say this. You know, as we know, I'm a therapist, so I don't push the drinking. But at the same time, you shouldn't only be restricted to drinking when you say something smart.
No, that's the
maybe you should have to drink.
You don't get a drink unless you say something smart.
Okay, all right. You make the rules, smart. Ross.
You just sit there and stare at the TV screen or the computer screen, wherever you have at your house. And Ross the Boss and Dr. Dan Ratner. You
make the rules here, Ross. Okay, now listen. We are going to talk about people who are not owned in under 60% of Yahoo leagues. That's the cutoff we're looking at. So we're not saying don't pick up these other players. If you got a player that's 64% owned and is fantastic, pick them up. That's fine. But we're talking about the ones that are below that. We're going to start with centers, wings, forwards, just that whole position. Then we'll look at defenders, defensemen, and then we will look at goalies. Let's start with the forwards. Marty, we'll start with you. Who's at the top of your list? Somebody at the top of your list that you want to see.
Right now, I would say he's at 32% right now. Eric Stahl, Jordan Stahl, sorry. Jordan Stahl is like on Carolina, and sometimes he gets points in the middle of the season, and no one's picked them up yet in my other leagues. So I think Jordan Stahl he could get you points, he could get you scores, he could get you assists. He could get hits too, and he's at 32 right now, 32%. So I don't know why no one's picked him up yet. Or what's he? 14 Nina Nider on Carolina too. No one has Nina Nider or Nina Nider on Carolina too. They get the points. They get points for you. So I might pick those guys up soon and get points.
Now I'm going to move to you, Ross, but I'm going to say something. This might be a first. We're on an NHL Waiver Wire show, and I just made an ad right now during the show. I'll tell you why. I know this is controversial. I know some people will have a bone to pick with me about it, but I picked up Evander Kane because I think that this guy's coming back in 12 days. I understand. I'm not condoning what happened, anything like that. In a fantasy league, you're fighting to win. My team is looking dominant right now. If I add another
Who
guy,
the heck did you drop?
I have a pretty good team, so I dropped Couture. He's the one that I had to pull the trigger.
So you're picking up a guy that owes hundreds of thousands of dollars in back taxes. That has nothing to do with hockey. He has abuse charges against him.
I feel very uncomfortable about that.
He's a criminal, but you pick him up on your team like nonchalantly, like it's not a big deal.
I didn't say nonchalantly. I'm just showing you how much I want to win.
Listen,
I feel very uncomfortable.
Marty and I have class. We don't pick up anybody on our team. We have some type of something called what's the word I'm looking for? But
honor, respect, and respect.
I have to sleep at night. So having Evander Kane on my team is somebody I don't want to have. Either does Marty.
Okay,
Marty,
listen.
That was a great pickup.
I'm
pickup on Stahl. I want you to have a sip of beer real quick because that was good. I like Eric Stahl and Jordan Stahl. Both those guys are unbelievable. My first pickup this week, as you guys know, I love Vegas. I love that team more than probably my favorite team. They're not playing that great, but Chandler.
I thought you were going to say more than your kids.
Chandler Stevenson has 5 goals, 11 assists. He's out there for the power plays. He's available in your league. Pick him up. He plays about 19 minutes per game, which is pretty good. As you know, I follow how much time you're on the ice. I think for over 18 minutes, that's a really, really good thing. A lot of defensemen are over 20, so that's really, really good. But Chandler Stevenson for me is a good pickup, and this guy's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger every week. And I feel if you don't have him, pick him up now. And I'll just talk about the guy that's on our cover, Nazem Kadri. McKinnon's out. McKinnon's not playing. He's going to be out for a while. And Kudry's kind of took his place. He's going to be on the first line. He'll be on power plays. And right now he has 5 goals, 12 assists, which is really good. 18 minutes on the ice. He's available like in 75% of leagues. So go and pick him up also.
Yep.
These are great pickups, and there's so many to choose from. So one thing I wanted to ask you guys is, how are you determining who to pick up? Ross, you talked last week about time on ice, how important that is. I talked about shots on goal. Marty, let's go to you about what's the main thing you look for in picking up players.
I look for Ross put in our hockey pool this year hits too. So I like the goals, but I like the hits that get you pick stronger players up. It gets you more points that way too. You get the hits because sometimes people are in a slump by scoring goals or getting assists. Then you go with the hits, the body checks. You could go with the checks. You could go with the blocks and stuff like that. So I go with the hits, and I choose
just keep on coming.
Yeah, you get more probably points faster that way because some people in a scoring drought. So like Taylor said, game.
The hits are good. Another thing I look at is what line they're on. If they're on the power play line, that's a big plus. If they're on the first line on power plays and they're playing a lot with the first team, that's the guys you want on their team. You want guys that are going to be out there for the points. You want to be there for the assists. You want to be there for the goals. But like Barty said, if your league has hits or has other weird categories that I like to do once in a while, you got to pay attention to that. But overall, you're looking for that first line player. You want the guy in the first line. You don't want a third line player.
That's true.
I mean, there's some teams that are great, like first to third line. Like I feel Florida and Carolina are both good examples of that. Both their lines are unbelievable, and that's why they're both in first place. But again, you really want to concentrate and make sure your player's out there during the power play time because that's
Florida's on fire this year.
Florida's good. Carolina's good. Even like. Even if you go to the West, look at Edmonton. They're playing unbelievable. They're 12-5.
Yeah.
Their front line. I mean, McDavid, the guy in our league that has McDavid is a total moron, but for some reason he picked him first, and now the guy's in first place and hasn't lost a game because of McDavid. Oh, it's you! I had no idea.
I'm just gonna say, just so you don't put your foot in your mouth.
You gotta give me him in a trade. I gotta make a good trade to you.
You're gonna
Dan's trading McDavid. He'll put the deal together for you. Don't worry.
Now listen, Marty. There's a couple of reasons that you're not going to get McDavid, and you're really running into a problem of the fact that my team is just too good. Because you could offer me 5 of the greatest players of all time, and I wouldn't do it because my roster is so loaded. Anyways, enough bragging. Okay. A guy that I would like to add, Ryan Hartman, Minnesota. Yeah. He's putting up a lot of points, but the other reason I like to add him is I look at these stats and I see what is sustainable. So I'm looking at, are you making your points on penalty minutes, which can be quite variable, or are you making it on shots on goal or time on ice, things like that? Ryan Hartman's looking quite good to me, but
Minnesota's in first place. Mm-hmm. That's another thing. They're in first place. They're scoring points. He has 8 goals, 4 assists for the season, which is pretty good. He's playing 17 minutes per game, which is pretty good. And he's on a first place team, which is really good. So Ryan Hartman, yes, that's a terrific pickup.
There you go. I'm not drinking for you, but I said something smart. Now, Ross, who else you got? Let's name some other players.
I know this is Marty's favorite team, the Ducks. And they've been playing really good. They've been scoring. They've been looking great. I mean, and I like Adam Hendrick, and he is 6 goals, 9 assists, 17 minutes per ice time a game. Adam is he's on for power plays. He's one of their main players, scores. He's unbelievable, but for some reason he's under 60%. It seems like almost every Duck is under 60%, except a couple. And Marty knows who that one of them Marty knows because Ottawa wants to trade for him. And I feel that the Ducks are not appreciated in NHL at all. No one likes the Ducks because people don't stay up late. They don't want to watch them play. I get it. But the Ducks are a team that's going to sneak up on you, and you better have some Ducks on your team during the season because they're going to score. Marty, what do you think?
I have 2 Duck players. I have Ryan, I think I have Ryan Getzlaf, and I have what's his name? And Gibson and somebody else too. Could get back to you on that one, but yeah, Ducks are doing really great. That makes me happy. I like my Ottawa, but Ottawa will come back too. They're back on the road on Monday, so let's see how they play with the protocol still because they got a lot of players still not with us right now, but we'll see what happens.
But that's definitely, you said something smart. Have another sip of beer. Yeah. You make it sound like they're deceased, like they're not with us.
I know. I was like, not with us, but he said right now. So I was like, it sounded like they were dead, but they're going to come back.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're like zombies.
They're coming back.
Like zombies.
Coming back with heat.
Now listen, I was looking at our league, and I was noticing when I mentioned Ryan Hartman, the owner in our league is named Los Patos. And I was like, what is that? I don't even know what that means. I looked it up. It means the Ducks. So the Ducks are clearly a major theme today. Adam, I assume it's Henrique, but I don't know how you say it. It's a French name.
Adam Henrique.
So the Ducks are a major theme here. Now, here's a guy to talk about also. I don't know what to make of this guy as much. Minnesota, Marcus Foligno or Foligno. I don't know how you say it. I just know what works in fantasy
sports. The second one is correct, Foligno.
Okay, and the Foligno. That's what I thought. It must be Foligno, is my guess. But
he's Italian.
Debate this for a long time. And in any case, he's putting up a good amount of points. My only concern about him is that he doesn't have a lot of shots on goal. His time on ice is lower, and his penalty minutes are driving his points up in our league. So I'm just not sure. Is he a good pickup or not? He wouldn't be the one I'd jump on based on these things. What do you guys think?
You jumped on Victor Kane, though.
I'm not a big fan. I think there's better people out there. I mean, for example, I'd rather have Riley Smith, who plays for the Golden Knights in Vegas. Riley Smith has 6 goals, 6 assists. He's on the first team. He plays about 18 minutes a game. He's really good. He's getting every week. He's scoring more. He started off very slow. I mean, there's better guys out there, but if you're a Minnesota fan, pick him up. I mean, if you're not,
I'm in agreement. That's part of why I was saying it. Like one advantage I have is I'm just playing the game of fantasy hockey. I don't know the game that well, but I'm seeing the numbers. I know how to analyze them, and it's paying off. So, by the way, have you guys seen the opening sequences that the Vegas Golden Knights have? They are so cool. Have you seen the laser show?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's insane.
They do a great job with marketing that team, and when they were actually like in the playoffs last year, they had like every big celebrity come out and like start the game off. They had like Wayne Newton they had like everybody possible they would have like at the game. They do a great job. Their laser show, the whole entertainment thing with Vegas and what they do with that team is there's no one that can come close. And that's the reason they never, ever in that team history, they had a losing season, which is unbelievable to say.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's talk about a couple of other players that we want to pick up, the forwards, before we move on to defensemen. Marty, do you have anybody else in mind?
I have a couple. I think I just have to look here quickly.
While you're doing that, we have some comments from Bad News Vaughn, who I believe is a friend of yours. He says, "Party Marty." Then he says, "Marty,
he's a professional wrestler. I'll take him down anytime, any place, anywhere. Come get me. I'm ready for you."
Oh my God, we gotta have this filmed, Ross, if you don't mind.
Kessler from the New York Islanders, like he's only 28%, but he picks up points. He's a young player. He has young talent, Anya and stuff like that too. I know Rickard Rakell is 13%, but he's hurt right now. But you could pick him up. He could sneak some points in on for you. But right now he's hurt, but he's coming back from injury soon. And he's going to do great.
That's a double gulp. So when you take a sip, 2 sips.
Okay.
That was great. I loved it. Very smart. Pavel Zuka from New Jersey, 7 goals, 4 assists, 18 minutes on the ice so far this season. He's like over 80% like not owned in leagues. So Pavel started slow. He's starting to heat up. I suggest if you need a really good forward, Pavel's your guy. New Jersey's a very underrated team, and I feel they'll be in the playoffs. They have young guns on that team, and they'll be really, really good by March. We'll see what happens.
Here's another guy I have my eye on is Boone Jenner of Columbus. I like him because he's got center and left wing eligibility. Sometimes these multiple eligibility people really help you. You're going to end up sitting guys because you just won't have enough players. You know, I could recommend a guy like Alex Iafallo on LA.
LA Kings.
He's only a left winger, and so if I'm choosing between the two, I might go Boone Jenner just because of the position flexibility.
Plus the name Boone. Remember Animal House? Remember Boone from Animal House? That's the reason I would pick him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's
a
big
classic Ross.
Radner.
All right, guys.
Some players play left, right, and right wing, left wing, and center too.
Yeah.
And one more guy, if you need assists in your league, if that's a category and you're kind of low on him, Robert Thomas of the St. Louis Blues. He has 2 goals, 14 assists, which is really, really good at this time of year. 14 assists, it's unbelievable. And 19 minutes a game. So Robert Thomas is a great pickup as a forward if you need assists.
All right, that sounds good, guys. We're going to move to defensemen for a little bit here. Let's talk about it. And look, in our league, defensemen have become more important than they were in our settings last year. Ross, you made a good adjustment to make the league more competitive that way. With hits being involved, defensemen are more valuable. So, who's some of your top guys, Marty? I'll start with you.
You know what? No one's picked up in my league right now. PK Subban. You know, I know he's at a low percentage, 12% I see here. But PK Subban could do the slap shots, get the goals, get assists, help your team win games. He was great on Montreal. They got rid of him on Montreal. He used to be great on Nashville. Now New Jersey has him. So I don't know if New Jersey's going to keep him still or he's up in the trade blocks, rumored trade talks. But PK Subban is one of the players you should pick up. Or Tyler Myers from the Vancouver Canucks. He's a big body. He's there to protect your young rookies. If anybody goes after your young rookies, he goes right after the young rookies. He helps the team win games, and he backs up his players when they get hurt. And you need some bullies on your team too, and you need some defense.
You need some goons. You need some goons, Marty. I mean, you don't have goons, you're not going to win. And you're 100% right. That's a triple chug of beer. That was so good, so precise. Dan and I loved it. It's a triple Lundy. What movie, Dan?
The triple Lindy Back to School. Thornton Mellon.
I always quiz Dan on movie questions throughout the show, and he always gets it right for some reason. And we don't plan it. He's just a genius. I can't explain.
Well, if by genius you mean watched lots of movies. Now listen,
fine. You sat at home on Friday night when guys were dating, and you watched.
Look, I'm also a genius of various kinds. So that's cool. Now listen, I feel some real cognitive dissonance about saying this because Marty was talking about goons, but Bad News Vaughn is congratulating you on getting married. Is this true?
Who's getting married?
You.
No. Vaughn's
he says, Marty, congratulations on getting... Oh, Bad News Vaughn pulls a fast one on us.
We're about to send you a big wedding gift. Dan, cancel the wedding gift.
All right, I will. It was very expensive, though, Marty. So we'll talk about this afterwards. Jacob Trouba of the New York Rangers, putting up lots of points. He's got decent penalty minutes. He's got a huge amount of hits and shots. When you get shots on goal and hits as a defenseman, I like it because that's very sustainable.
I like it.
So he's 59% rostered. So you're probably not going to hear him on this show in 2 weeks when we meet again. But grab him now while you can. Jacob Trouba. Ross, who do you have in mind on defense?
I said this guy before, and he's been hurt, but he's coming back next week. Is Bowen Byram, and he plays for Colorado. He has 3 goals and 5 assists. Very limited time. He's on the first line. He's like 20 years old or even 19 years old. Young stud. He plays about 19 minutes a game. He's first line. He'll play with the first line a lot. I love this kid. Colorado's loaded with talent. They have a lot of great defensemen, but this guy's one of them, and he'll just get better. And he's hurt. I know you see the injury sign next to his name. Don't worry about that. He'll be back. I love him. I also like this guy, Nate Schmidt of Winnipeg. 1 goal, but 10 assists. He's on another first-team defensive guy. He gets a lot of shots, a lot of hits. But with Nate, he's somebody that can also bring you some points too. So I love both these 2 guys. If you need defensive help, and sometimes people are lackadaisical looking at their defensemen, they just let them roll and they don't pay any attention. Pay attention to your defense. Make sure they're scoring. Make sure they're getting hits. Make sure they're contributing to your team. Because if they're not, I just gave you 2 guys that could be available in your league that can benefit you now.
All right, here's another one. Radko Gudas. I think I mentioned him last time.
I owe you money. Tell me about Radko.
On the Florida Panthers. Listen, this guy has 73 hits. Like I'm looking at my watch list right now. The next highest guy has 45. So 73 hits.
So 73 hits. What? Tell me goals and assists. How many points? Tell me the rest.
So Radko Gudas right now he has 0 goals and 4 assists. He's got 24 penalties. I mean, if you want a goon, this guy is clearly a goon. All he does is hit and get penalties.
This guy's like Oglethorpe. I mean, I don't know if you guys watch Slapshot. I have the picture right behind me, actually. And
punch him in the mind.
Who owns the Chiefs? One of my favorite movies, Marty. If you haven't seen the original Slapshot, not the ones that came out later. The original Slapshot with Paul Newman.
Yeah,
Marty, you should watch that because that movie will change your life. But this guy's a real goon. I mean, 73 hits, and we're only in November. That's unbelievable.
I got into my hockey pool already in my other one.
All right, now, Marty, name 1 or 2 more defensemen before we move on. We do have some questions coming in, again, from Bad News Vaughn. He's asking Jacob Markstrom. Well, we're not to goalies yet, so sit tight on that one.
Don't worry.
And he also asked...
I'm surprised you knew that guy.
He also asked Austin Matthews, who I think is over 60%.
He's like 98%. I mean, you're talking about one of the best scorers in the NHL.
Yes.
Okay, so you got Duncan Keith. I know he's old.
He's so old, Marty. He's like, I think he uses a cane when he's out there playing hockey. I mean, the guy, he's on the last.
He got a lot of hits with a cane.
I just can't. The thing about Duncan Keith, I can't believe they brought him to Edmonton, and he's for that kind of money, and his career's almost over. It's like I don't get it.
He's not doing anything in Edmonton. He was better left off to Chicago.
Well, I know. He was in Chicago. He won Stanley Cups there. I got a picture with him. But, they signed him for big money in Edmonton, and I know they need defensive help. They're horrible in defense. That's their main problem. But, he's not the solution, but he's a nice guy. He's the guy that lost, 5 teeth in the Stanley Cup final.
And I got one
and he still played. If there was Dr. Dan Ratner, he would have been crying in the locker room and not coming out.
I got one more defense for you guys, too. And no one's picked him up in line. I don't think I'm either one. But he's from Ottawa Senators. Everybody loves saying "Zoo" at the arena. So You
What's
got
his
to go
name?
with Zoop on Ottawa Senators.
Okay, I'm gonna pick him up right now so you don't grab him. Also, I also like Oliver Kylston. He plays for Calgary. He has 3 goals, 9 assists. He's available in a lot of your leagues.
Yeah.
He's a scorer. He's a hitter. He plays in Calgary, so not many people pay attention. But he's somebody that could have like 15 to 20 goals this year and probably have like 30 assists. It's not a bad pickup. If you need somebody who on defense that's scoring, he'll be a good pickup. Also, Nicholas Hague of Vegas. He has 3 goals and 5 assists and plays about 20 minutes a game or 22 minutes a game, whatever it is. He's Vegas is. I picked a lot of Vegas guys today. I don't know why. I like Hague a lot. He's actually first line also, and he's actually a good pickup this week.
All right, guys, we got to leave some time for goalies. We got a couple minutes here. Remember, we're talking 60% and below rostership. So, Marty, who's the top goalie that you would want to add? Ross, again, did a nice job adjusting our league because it was too goalie heavy last year. Now it's much better this year.
Well, he went to New Jersey. Now he's in New Jersey. He's only 10%, but you got to watch out for Justin Bernier. He used to play for all different teams. He's a great goalie. You got to pick him up. He knows how to win some games. And then you got Thomas Glass from the Detroit Red Wings, too. He's a great goalie, too. And also Jake Allen, too, but he's hurt right now. But, Ross said Montreal's working with their third string, but how he said Jake Allen could get you the points. He was from St. Louis Blues. He's getting the points. He's helping Montreal out. There's a little slump sometimes, too.
Yeah, but Corey Price from Montreal should be back very soon. He's back practicing. He's getting in game shape. I think he'll be back by next week, Marty. What do you think?
Probably. He'll help the team. He'll help the team grab up more points, move up the ladder maybe.
They can't get any worse, Marty. Montreal is horrible. And you know what? That was a great rant. Make that a quadruple. 4 swigs of beer. 4!
That's a new word, Ross. It's a quadruple
I don't
or something,
know.
but you called it a quadruple, which is like a triple
another
quadruple?
goalie that I have in one of my leagues, and I
think it's great.
He doesn't play every game, but he plays for the Boston Bruins, which is a really good hockey team. And he's at 59 or 60%. So if you want him, if he's available, pick him up now because I'm going to be available next week. Is Jeremy Swayman. Jeremy is he's actually has 5 wins this season, 2.16 goals against average, which is pretty good. And he's winning 5. He's already at 5 games, which is great. But he doesn't play every day. He plays every other game he'll play. They switch back and forth with their other starter in Boston. But I like what this kid has done. He's been really hot right now. I think he's had 3 or 4 games in a row he's won. So Jeremy Swayman, I love. And James Reimer, who plays for San Jose, 4 wins. Goals against 1.98. Anytime it's under 2, it's really good. He's been getting the start a lot in the past. Recently, he's been the hot goalie for San Jose. And if you need a goalie, it's not a bad pickup.
Another guy just to mention, this guy is always kind of waiver wire material. Jonathan Quick, he's always hovering around maybe 50 to 60%, just always. But if you need somebody in pinch, he's a guy to grab.
He won 2 Stanley Cups. I get it. And
not that old.
He's from Connecticut. He's an American. I like that too. I like American players better than Canadians, Marty. Sorry.
What the fuck?
But Quick to me, it's like the only reason he's playing is because of money. I mean, he should be retired. I mean, if it was Marty playing,
Iowa has good Canadian team. We're a good Canadian team. We just gotta get back to our thing. You know what I mean?
Marty just didn't know what hit him there.
He's only 35 years old. Quick is not old, okay?
Yeah, but he looks old on the ice. He had many major injuries the past couple of years. He's been out. He's been operated on. He's not the same player he was. It's time to retire, Marty.
I'm not
time
saying
to pack up the ice.
Oh, I got one more goalie too before we done with goalies. But
who is it?
I got my good friend in Buffalo Sabres, Craig Anderson. He's doing very well. Ottawa gave up
so Craig,
on him,
let me just update the
well.
audience. Craig is hurt, but that's at least 2 swigs of beer. That's very smart. Craig is hurt. He hasn't played in a while, but he should come back next week. And you're right; it's a good pickup right now. And he has 4 wins, and his goals against is 2.50, which is pretty good. And I like Craig Anderson too. And Buffalo to me is probably the biggest surprise team this year for me in hockey. I mean, everybody had them as like not winning a game basically. And they proved me wrong. They proved everybody else wrong. And they're not a bad team, and they will make the playoffs.
Yeah, they will.
Well, guys, I think we've done a great job getting people updated on the hockey waiver wire. We're going to be back in 2 weeks. That's Fridays, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And for all of you hosers out there, you hurt my clothes, and I'm coming for you. And meanwhile, we'll finish up on that. We always have to. We will be back in 2 weeks. I look forward to seeing you. Lay those hits on.
2
Put
weeks.
some shots on goal. Get your time on ice. Not to be confused.
Marty will make some trades.
And Marty will send me trades. He probably did.
McDavid will be off Dan's team very soon.
Not a chance. Okay, guys, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Hey everyone! Castmaster here, overload of knowledge and part-time customer service rep for Killcliff. I wanted to announce my new Killcliff Octane CBD flavor. Killer Cliffsicle. Yeah, that's right. It's orange and vanilla yumminess. Woo! I know your drink hole is gonna be happy because I know everything. Just go to killcliff.com and get yours today.